welcome back. For this video, what I'm going to show you is how to use Google Forms to create your thesis questionnaire. So the first thing you need to do, of course, is set up your Google Drive. And from your Google Drive, okay, click the Google Drive and look for the Google Form. So once you have seen your Google Forms, okay, you can see it from this area. Click that. There it is. There's the Google form. You can actually start with a blank form or from a template. Okay. So for example, we start off with a blank form because you have more freedom to decide how your survey questionnaire would look. Okay. So I have here a ready template for the blank form. Just minimize this. And there are some things here that you need to consider first. Okay. So first and foremost, what you need to do is put the title on your form. Let's say this is about your thesis about uh, customer satisfaction survey. Okay, so maybe your thesis is about customer satisfaction in your company or a chosen company. So this is a survey for that. And once you have titled it, all right, so you automatically have uh, the template in your Google Drive. So you notice this title that we put in here is also adopted in this area. Okay, so here, um, well, we require our students to bring in proof that all the people who answered are valid. So that's why we require that the email is put in here. If you are not going to use that or it's not required, then you can change that in settings here. Do not require the email. Okay. So if you notice for this new video or this new template, the first setup is already given here. So just put in your first question. Maybe, let's say, gender or age, let's say age of your respondents. Okay. So you have several things to consider here. Once you have put in your age, you can put that, just put age there, or can make it a sentence. What is your age? Okay. So here you have below the options that you should put. Okay. If you want it open-ended, meaning the respondents will be the one to put in their age, you have to choose short answer. Okay. But if you have choices, then I would recommend you use multiple choice. Okay. So here you can put option one. Let's say it's a bracket, it's an age bracket. Let's say it's 20 years old to 30 years old. Okay. So you can put here your second option by clicking that 31 to 40. If you have another age bracket, click add option and you have 41 to 50. And then if you have another option, you can click that further. Okay, 51 and above. That's it. You have your first question there already. Now, if you want to create a new question, click this button, add question. Okay, so maybe uh, department. What department are you in? Okay, maybe you have options here. It automatically give you a short answer. Why? Because sometimes you cannot just give, let's say, accounting or finance or operations, because sometimes the departments in every company is different in terms of title or offices. So it's much better if it's a short answer and they can just put, let's say, management information systems office or registers office or what have you. So if there's a varied amount or so many different possibilities, then you have to keep it open and just put in short answer. But okay, let's say we put another question here. So we can see the different types of answers that can be put in. Let's say income bracket, or let's say salary. What is your monthly salary? Okay, so you can put in again multiple choice, or you can do a drop down. So since I've shown you how a multiple choice type goes, just like the age, same thing if you want to use that. But let's do drop down style. For drop down style, you can just put in brackets again. Let's say below 10,000. Option 2, 10,001 to 20,000. Okay, 20,001 to 30,000. Okay, let's say
It's 11 o'clock.
we can do some more there. It's up to you. But let's say we have only 4 options. We can say 30,001 and above. That's it. Okay, that's the end of that question. Now take note. If you require that your respondents answer this question without skipping it, you have to click this button, required. If you do not click this button, then they can skip the question. And for a survey, for a thesis, we want all the questions answered. So you have to put in that button to the right. Okay. So this one as well, department that you're in, okay, it's in there. You have to double check because sometimes we duplicate questions. And if the copied question is closed or like this, then the next couple of ones will also be like this. So you have to make sure you check in whether this is already a required question. Okay. So here, if you want to put a different section, for example, this is your demographic, social demographic profile. And this answers your objective number 1, which is what is your demographic profile. And then you want to move on to the second part of your questionnaire. Maybe look at the level of customer satisfaction already. Then we can use this button to add a section. You have to click it. It creates section 2. So title that section. Let's say level of satisfaction. Okay, level of satisfaction. You can put a description here based on your written, okay, or hard copy of your survey questionnaire. If you have an explanation for this area, this is the part where you can put your explanation. Okay, so that's that. Now you want a question. So here, add the question. So for example, the first question is, what is your perception of the culture in the department? For example, that is a question, if that makes any sense. So what is your perception of the culture in your department? Okay, I want it as let's say a multiple choice grid. Okay, so for row 1, okay, we can put in, let's say, level of communication. Okay, and then column 1, we can have, let's say, poor, fair, satisfactory, very good, say, and then excellent. Okay, so these are the answers. And these are the questions regarding culture in the department. So first, level of communication, teamwork, let's say. Okay, how would you assess teamwork in the department? Let's say support, say work uh, support. Okay, at the end. And then maybe there's another question here. I'm having difficulty thinking. So let's just have three. All right. And then that's that. If you want to add another question, just click this again. Okay. So here is how that question would look like. We use multiple choice grid. Okay. So here's the level of communication, and these are your options. The level of communication in the department is fair or satisfactory or excellent. Teamwork is poor. Work support is fair. Okay. So here, maybe you can ask about, um, I know this is customer satisfaction. Maybe you can do it like job satisfaction instead of customer, because the question is about jobs. So job satisfaction. Okay. So let's say the question is level of motivation. Yeah, level of motivation. Okay. In the company or in the department. So scale, this is a different type of questioning. So linear scale. So maybe I can put in here uh, motivation in the company. Let's say motivation from immediate supervisor. Motivation from top management. Okay. Hindi pala. So this is one question. Okay, level of motivation in the company. This one was low. This one is very high. Okay. So this one's pala is the answer. So this is one question. So if I want level of motivation from supervisor, immediate supervisor. Dito ang question, immediate supervisor. There. Okay. Now, I intended to put level of motivation coming from the top management. Since almost similar, I'll just click this button to duplicate it. And I'll just change this one to top management. Okay, same scale, low to high. Okay, so you can see level of motivation from immediate supervisor. So this one is this one is low and 5 is very high. So the respondent will just click from this continuum. Okay, so this one, level of motivation from top management, there. Okay, so if I want to add another question, you can already see level of motivation from top management, and I can create another question here. So maybe I can talk about uh, career advancement. Career advancement. Okay, and then uh, sometimes it gives suggestions on how we're going to answer it. Okay, career advancement in your department. So I can do a linear again. I can do a linear scale. Okay, maybe the scale I can make it up to 10 now. Okay, career advancement in your department. A label one being not, let's say, not positive. Okay, this is very positive. Okay, so if we look at that question, it would look like that. So regarding my career advancement in the department, not positive, meaning probably I will not be seeing any movement in my position in the next couple of years, or I'm very positive that there will be career advancement for me in the department. So something like that. So here, what you can see is that depending on the type of question that you have, you can do a yes or no, you can do a drop down, you can do check boxes. If, for example, let's say, let's do example for check boxes. Benefits you receive in the company. Okay, so maybe we'll do check boxes. Okay, so here, if you do check boxes, that means choose all that applies, meaning you can have a lot. Okay, so here I can have transport, transportation subsidy, uh, eye checkup, free eye checkup, let's say, free eye checkup. What else can I get? Clothing allowance, say travel allowances, uh, death in the family subsidy, uh, marriage leave. Okay, so uh, can be like that, and you can have so many. Let's say car plan. Let's say house housing plan. Okay, can also do stock options. Okay, so once you have that, okay, I can create another question so we can see how this looks. All right. So here, if I have all of this, I can check all of it. Okay. Now, going back to the menu on top, if you want to see how your questionnaire looks, you can see it using this button. But before we do that, you notice that this questionnaire is quite, uh, uh, bland. So there are some simple options here in this button. Okay, and here you can choose an image to put in your questionnaire. Okay, so you can have maybe, since it's like office, maybe this one. Does it look like it's a piano? All right. Hmm. Not so many options here. You can actually upload your own. Okay, you can upload photos coming from your file, or maybe you have a file already intact here. All right. So, okay, so maybe I'll choose this one and it will insert. Okay, I can choose that area. Okay, and done. Okay. The theme color and the background color tend to adjust with your picture here. So if your picture is more purplish, then this will become a little bit on that side as well. So here you have that option already. You can click that off. Okay. And now you can see a sample of your questionnaire and how it would look from the perspective of your respondents. So this is how your respondents will see your questionnaire. So here you have a required email. All right. So I can make it like ndmandongan at gmail.com. Okay. Age 41 to 50. Department are you in? Let's say business department. Say monthly salary. You can say 30,000 and above, maybe, and then you do next. If look at all the bullet, the red asterisk, that means it's a required question. And if you failed to answer one, it will not move to the next area. It will bring you back to your gap, or the one that you did not answer. Okay. So here is part two, level of satisfaction. Okay. So here, what is your perception of the culture in the department? Level of communication, say very good. Teamwork is excellent. Work support is here, right? So level of motivation, kunwari hindi natin sasagutan and I move in here. Level of top management is 4. Ay, kunwari hindi natin ito sinagot. Sige, sagutan natin to, pero hindi natin ito sagutan. Ay, hindi na pala. Hindi na siya makiklik. So anyway, kunwari we missed this. Okay? So let's see what happens. Now, choose all that applies. So, okay, if you notice here, you can only choose one. Okay? This kind of questions. But if you choose check boxes, it appears differently like this. So say I have that, and that. Okay. So now, look, there's this because I clicked another question earlier and I did not finish it. So now it appears here. So we have to make sure that we do not do this. Okay. So you have to delete this from this area. Okay. So you notice, okay, here that there's this unfinished question. This has to be deleted. So it does not appear there. That's why it's important that before you forward your questionnaires, view it first. So let me delete it. Okay. Now let's see. Oh, it's still here, but if we refresh it, this will already disappear. Okay. So now I try to submit it. Okay. I will try to submit it, and it brings me back here, the one which I failed to answer. So this is good if this is this survey is for a thesis because you want all questions answered, isn't it? So career advancement for myself. Yeah. Okay. Let's put it in there. And we have to click it here because otherwise it will not let me submit as well. If you want, send me a copy of my responses, then you can click it there. All right. Pero this one can be set in here. I'm going to teach you that later on so that the respondent does not have any option if you do not want them to download their responses. So let me just put it like that. Go back there and then submit. All right. So now my survey has been answered by one respondent. Kunwari ako yon. And I want to go back to my Google form. And you can see there's already one response here. Okay. Now, earlier, di ba may nakalagay tayo doon na send me a copy of my responses. Dito yun siniset if you want that option available for the respondents or not. So here, so collect emails, yun yung required na email, response receipts. Okay. If respondent requested or always, if you do not want that option, just click that off. Okay. This one limits the response of the respondent to one. This has to be set because otherwise, one respondent can start answering like 10 times, 100 times, and that defeats the purpose. In thesis writing, one respondent, one response. So this has to be clicked. Respondents can edit or they can see the summary chart. No, do not click those. So before you save it, let's look at the presentation. Do you want the respondents to see how many questions they have answered? Then click show progress bar. Do not click shuffle question order because that will shuffle your questions. Even the responses will also be shuffled. Okay. So therefore, when do I use this? If I'm making an exam and I want the exam questions as well as the exam choices to be shuffled. For a survey, do not click it. Now, the confirmation message earlier, you notice that your response has been recorded. That is the pro forma response. But you can change it. You can say, thank you for your time. Your responses have been recorded. You know, you can say hi, bye, hello. So anyway, you can change that. And do not click this anymore because this is not a quiz. But if you're making a quiz, then there are so many other options here. Okay. So we'll not do that right now since we're making a survey for your thesis. And then that's it. You need to save. Okay. So there you have it. You already have your survey questionnaire. Now, remember, I answered a sample. Kunwari, I am a one respondent. So this is my response. So if you look at the responses, okay, it will show you the distribution of the answers. All right. So since there's just one, kaya isa pa lang yung response dyan. Okay. So kapag marami nang nakapagsagot, magkakaroon kayo ng iba't ibang graphs here at saka presentation of the responses and disaggregation. You can look at the summary. You can look at the answers per question, or you can look at the answer per individual here. All right.